All right, we're back with a brand new week Inside Spin with Jermichael Finley, myself, DJ Dex, and we got our Ohio State guest, my buddy Reid Fragel. Reid, how you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited about this episode, boys. I get this thing going, DJ.
Oh yeah, Reid. I'm sure it's not the best day for you after last night's game with Ohio State and Alabama. Obviously, Alabama kind of blew the doors off them last night. Not how you wanted it to go, but what were you thinking? I mean, watching the game last night, obviously you started off looking all right. I mean, keeping pace with them, and then it just kind of all went downhill with Devonta Smith, and he is just unreal, man.
Yeah, and I don't know if you could say it started off all right because first play, Trey Sermon getting hurt.
Yeah,
man, that took a lot of wind out of our sails, I think. And Master Teague's a hell of a back, but I do think that some of the game plan had to shift once you lose a guy like Trey Sermon, who's
absolutely
rushed for 250 yards and 300-yard games before this. So, again, though, to your point, I don't know if it would have changed much for the offense that Bama had. I don't know if we would have still been able to keep up. I mean, they were on fire on all cylinders. So, not the best turnout for the season, end of the season, but the offensive line looked great. I thought there's some positives to build off of for the next season.
Yeah, so for viewers that are watching right now, Reid Fragel used to play for Ohio State, from Michigan, grew up, ended up going to OSU, and then playing in the NFL, played for Vikings, played for Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Who else did you play for?
Oh, God, Cincy, Cleveland, Tampa, 7 different teams in about 5 years. So it was I was a bit of a journeyman.
Yeah.
I guess what, man? It's nothing wrong with that, man.
Oh, it was nothing wrong with that.
They're the best guys. They're the best guys on the field.
The guys you meet are worth the experience in itself. So it was awesome.
Yeah. So obviously your two career paths were a little bit different of how you guys go about get into the NFL. Obviously, Jermichael, Texas, Big 12 school. You, Ohio State, Big 10 school, and then obviously venturing through different teams. Jermichael, you going with the Packers, and then having your injury, trying to come back to a different team. But I mean, y'all still made it, still played in the league. You still have all the knowledge, and then obviously these games like last night, you're tied into, and you're focused. And
yep.
Jermichael, I'm sure the same probably goes for you with looking at Steve Sarkisian, who be taking over at Texas.
So I'm gonna just recap. I'm gonna go back a little. Sarkisian. He done an awesome job coordinate the game, keeping the game at an up tempo speed. But man, the crazy part is I was in and out that third quarter-ish because Alabama, the wheels have started falling off. I'm sorry. It started falling off. So I'm telling my oldest boy, I'm like, man, I am tired. And this game it was just going up. I'm like, Ohio State just can't keep up. And I was going for Fields, though, because I've been watching that kid ever since the high school episode. Is it QB1?
Yeah.
He was on QB1. So I was like, I'm going for Fields this game just because I felt like I followed the kid. I know the kid. So I'm like, I'm going for him. And as the game was going on, I'm just like, Alabama they just got it. They got it. They got the juice. And they started off pretty good, 14-14 there. And then as the game went on, Ohio State just couldn't keep up and couldn't maintain with the offense. And I thought they got thrown off by the up tempo of Alabama's offense and just couldn't keep up. And I think that's what Ohio State's going to have to do over time as far as the program and getting back to the ship is keep up with them caliber of offenses of up tempo and keeping things going.
Yeah, and that's a little something that Reid and I were talking about earlier was just competing with Alabama and those top tier teams. And obviously Ohio State's season this year it's a far different story than Alabama's or Clemson or any of these other teams. I mean, basically all the Big Ten started a month after or a month and a half after. I mean, so Ohio State is coming in only playing those 6 games. You're going through all the controversy of missing 2 games, having them canceled. So that's 2 less games of experience or just kind of gelling together that you guys need. And then going into that Big Ten championship game where they had to change the rules, didn't know like what they were going to do, if they were going to allow them to play or not. If I know you were talking about they might end up playing Northwestern or whoever in that off game, when Michigan just kind of opted out of playing you guys because they didn't want to.
Right.
And then, it kind of fell into like you didn't know if they were even going to be able to be in the Big Ten championship or whatnot. And still end up letting them play because you can't keep them out after the season that they had. And then go in, beat Clemson pretty decisively. And still a very impressive season. Obviously, it ended how it did last night. But, I mean, it's hard to take a lot away from Ohio State after tough of a season.
And it's hard to take away from Fields also. The kid played his heart out. Had a huge injury. If you heard the details of his injury, the kid took a blow, especially on that hit. So I thought him coming back was a ton of grit, ton of heart. Showed a lot to a lot of NFL scouts, and I still don't think he's number 1 pick overall.
We'll see if Urban goes up to Jacksonville, he just might get him.
That's how a connect goes. Hey,
yeah.
And that's awesome right there. That's very true. That's a good take right there, Reid.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But strong rumors are he's going down to Jacksonville, but so far that's only been about a week or 2 of strong rumors. So we'll see what happens.
Supposedly building his whole assistant coaching team and everything else, getting ready to take over down there. Which who knows, man? Yeah, it's always weird seeing the college coaches, how they transition to the NFL and if they can pull it off. And we'll see. But I mean, you can't doubt Fields' toughness, and then even the rest of the team, obviously, with a lot of the losses that they had yesterday, they're playing a little bit down. But like we said, man, Bama is just an unreal team, and they're in it every year. I mean, that's 5 championships in 10 years. I feel like every year watching college football, they're in it. And that's what I end up seeing on social media and stuff is people are like, man, I don't even want to watch college football anymore. It's the same teams every year. But it's going to be like next year, Ohio State has the number 2 recruiting class. Alabama is the only one above them with the number 1. So they're going to be right back next year. I mean, there's no doubt.
Hey, hold on, DJ Dex. We got Texas now.
Well, they're going to be back in the playoffs next year.
Okay, we're going to switch it up a little bit. But no, man, it was an awesome game last night. A great national title, especially for TV and people that was watching. Actually, we're going to switch it up. We're going to go to the Packers now, man. We got Packers, LA this week. Big game. I'm going to go ahead and switch it up. The matchup I'm looking for is Adams and Ramsey.
Yep.
You can't tell me that ain't Showtime right there.
Yeah.
That's Showtime TV. You got 2 big guys, especially 2 money guys that's playing. 2 guys that got the team on their back. And what you guys think about that?
Reid, go ahead.
I mean, that Green Bay offense is absolutely on fire right now. So, for me as a lineman, I watch guys like Bakhtiari going down, and I'm wondering how he can perform with him gone. But then I also see a guy like Jared Valdir. I see him getting signed. I don't know if you guys saw that at all. But that was one of my favorite headlines of the year was Jared Valdir coming out of retirement. He's coaching high school football. He's supposed to be at their high school playoff game, I guess, last Saturday for the Colts. They signed him on board. He starts left tackle, does a pretty good job. They end up losing, obviously, but something within the rules happens where he was on their practice squad or something. J-Mike, maybe you know this better, but they elevated him, and because of that move, after they lost, another team can pick him up. So Green Bay was then able to sign him.
That's good. So the thing is, man, it's playoff, and it's playoff ball. It's one and go home too right now. So, man, I thought it was a great one. It's playoff football, one and go home. You got to put all your, I'm gonna say nuts on the table and make it happen. at all costs. But yeah. And the Packers need that. We got to bring a Lombardi Trophy home. I say it's a must. It's a must year this year, especially for a trophy. For Aaron Rodgers, if you heard the interview with him and Brett Favre early what was it? Last week?
Yeah, last week.
Him and Brett Favre talked, and Brett Favre gave him a ton of kudos. And man, the city needs it. Former players now. It's just a must win this year.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome watching that matchup. Obviously, Rams with a big defense. Donald being hurt a little bit last week, but then Ramsey, a guy who's very, very intense, likes to talk, and Devontae, watching them go back and forth all game is going to be awesome.
Yes. Yeah, that's my type of TV, DJ Dex.
Yeah, that's what's going to be awesome is knowing how much Ramsey talks. It's going to be exciting to see if he can.
And it's different for Adams too. Adams it's different for Green Bay. Period. Here, it's not much chatter. You know what I mean?
I don't think that Adams is a talker like that. So it's going to be weird to see if like Jalen gets in his head or if anything like that happens, or if he goes to work, and hopefully we can make something happen. But that Rams offense, I mean, I don't see them putting up a ton of points. So it's literally going to be our offense having to put up points against their defense, which I think that we should be able to do, and then keep it going.
And keep it going. And Reid, I got a good one for you. With Bakhtiari out, it's going to be huge as far as O-lineman tactics. Yeah. Blind side for Aaron Rodgers. You got a great D-line there in LA, so you can't downplay them guys. So what you think about that going on with Bakhtiari out and things like that?
Well, that's what I was getting at earlier. I wasn't sure where they ended up with Jared Valdir there, if he's even starting at left tackle.
I know Billy Turner he's been starting like in the games that Bakhtiari missed earlier in the season, and then he started week 17 game too.
Yeah.
And he's played well all the time that he's been in for Bakhtiari. So
might be sign him for maybe as a backup plan, but I mean, this is the true test for this offensive line. I mean, if there wasn't a test before this, but this is going to be I think the best test of them all versus the Rams defense. And like you guys said, I'm excited to watch kind of an unstoppable force meeting a movable object. And it's the NFL where this is a do or die type moment for that offensive line. They got to come together and be cohesive if they weren't before. So I know Aaron Rodgers is quick to get rid of it, even if they don't do their job. So I think it'll be all right either way. But I'll be watching the left tackle side for sure.
Yeah.
I like the way you talk, Reid. You said A-Rod is gonna get rid of it, regardless what they talking about.
You know that best, J. Mike.
Yeah. So I think the O-line is gonna play out the way it plays. I'm glad you said that, Reid. Rodgers is a guy that he's a quick twitch guy. He's a up-tempo guy, and he's an instinct guy. If he sees something coming off his blind side, he let the ball go. And I think he's playing his best football of his career this year. I hate to say that because I played for him back in the time, but this year has been sitting out looking from the outside in. Aaron Rodgers is playing his best football of his career, and it's pretty shocking to see, and it's scary also.
Yeah, he's had an unreal season. Should be the MVP, I think, easily. Sucks for Josh Allen, had such a good year and just not going to win it. And then obviously Mahomes kind of slowed down in December and Rodgers kind of took it away from him. But, I mean, they got to really come to play, and it's no easy games come playoff time. And then we have our other games, Browns shocking everyone and beating Pittsburgh, coming out just insane, putting up 48 in the first quarter. I mean,
wow.
Any social media, I mean, it was all over, just with them everywhere.
But that's just going to tell you how you have to start off a game. You got to start off a game crisp, and you got to start off as sound. And the Steelers didn't do that. They had a snap overhead. really wasn't taking. I thought they really wasn't taking the Browns seriously, and
Right.
look what happened. You got first quarter 28 points put on you, and that's pretty scary if you Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
I wonder what the hell he was thinking at halftime.
I cannot imagine how that halftime speech went. It probably wasn't good, but yeah, you got.
It reminded me literally of I don't know if you guys watched the Bengals Steelers game when they lost to the Bengals, but it literally started the same exact way. Pouncey had a bad snap right out the gate, and they never really got to catch up to the Bengals. So it kind of looked identical to that kind of a start for me watching them. And obviously the Browns just fed off of it. And on top of that, all the bulletin board material all week that they were thrown in their face. You know,
Juju.
Pittsburgh intentionally losing to play them again. I mean, you don't need any more motivation than that.
Yeah. And now you're from Michigan, obviously, like we said. You're
man, I hate that for you, Reid.
What, being from Michigan?
Me too, man. No, it's all good. I jumped the border, made the right move, and haven't looked back. I'm still down here in Columbus.
There you go. So then, are you cheering for the Browns this weekend against Kansas City, or who do you like for NFL teams?
Yeah, I like the Browns and Tampa are kind of my two teams right now.
Okay.
Like I was telling you earlier, Dex, after playing it and bouncing around, I know J-Mike and I have kind of different experiences, but I wasn't really loyal to one team, obviously, after bouncing around through 7. So I kind of tie my now fanhood to, I guess, good experiences and guys that are still playing versus a particular team like the Detroit Lions or something. Once a team kind of cuts you and tells you, you can't play here, you kind of have a sour taste in your mouth afterwards. So these were the Tampa were good experiences.
Yeah, we call it bittersweet. That's thanks for paying me, but F you at the end of the day.
Yep, exactly.
That's why I was kind of wondering who you're cheering for, and then obviously I figured being in Ohio State for a while, you might sway toward the Browns a little bit more too, just being in your neck of the woods over there. But they got a tough one, and then you got Baltimore and the Bills, and then like you said, Tampa Bay, your second team against New Orleans. So a lot of good games this weekend, and we'll see how they go. You guys got any predictions?
Hey, I got something. Should we put Reid in our little game here we got going? Should we add him in there?
We can throw him in the spot.
That's might as well. Let's throw him out there because I don't think you done so well there, DJ Dex.
I was 4-2. I was the same as you.
4-2. Oh yeah, you was okay. You got to. I'm that better. You got to correct me. You got to come get your money. You got to come knock on my door.
Yeah, because you ended up picking Steelers and obviously lost that one. But I had Titans. I thought that the Titans were going to pull that one out.
I did too.
Lamar came to play and they shut down Derrick Henry. So that's wrong. And then I guess the Rams wrong. I thought Seattle was going to win that game.
Man, I did too, but I didn't see Russell Wilson come to play that game. It looked like he just had a newborn baby. It looked like he had that fever. I just saw it in him, and he didn't come to play. And like I tell you, Ramsey locked down DK. You did one-on-one. They had to get a mismatch. They had to put him in motion to get a mismatch to get him off of Ramsey. So my thing is going back to the Packers game. Hopefully we ain't got to do that with Adams because, man, as it's go, I say go toe-to-toe. Let's see who the best here.
Be nice.
But at the end of the day, we're trying to win. Sorry. At the end of the day, we're trying to win. Mismatches win games.
All right, so who you got? Cleveland, Kansas City. Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites.
You taking them with points or just straight up? Who's going to win?
We're going straight up and down.
Okay. I can't go against them. That'd be bad luck. So I'm going to take the Browns.
Ooh.
Wow.
Not feeling strong about it, but
wow.
You just can't pick against him. You can't pick against him.
Oh my God.
There's that, but they also have been doubted so much that, I know it only goes so far in an NFL football game versus college, but I think Baker's playing well. I think, even without Odell Beckham, they're playing well on offense. And that offensive line will get Joel Bitonio back, who was out last game because of COVID, who's I also was fortunate enough to play with him. Great guy and a huge piece of that offense. So I'm hoping they fire up and come out the gate swinging like they did against Pittsburgh and win that game. But again, that's a tough offense to stop.
That's pretty tough.
Who's the Browns' right tackle? There is like one of the best linemen in the game. He just got hurt last week too.
Trotter.
Yeah, I think that's who it is. Yeah, he's their.
Yes, that's who it is.
I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, I mean.
Oh, Conklin, Jack Conklin from Michigan State. Yeah.
Conklin.
Yep.
So yeah, he just got hurt last game, so hopefully his wasn't that bad either.
I think it was his hamstring, so I don't know how a lineman hurts his hamstring to begin with, but hopefully
he rolled up on it. I forgot how he got hurt. I remember watching the game and then seeing him come out, and I was like, oh man. But
who you taking that game, DJ?
I would like to take Cleveland because I'm a big Baker guy, and obviously just like
what is your heart telling you? What is your
heart is telling me to not pick against Pat.
Let's go with your heart.
So I mean, I got to take Kansas City, but I won't be mad. I won't be mad if I'm wrong on this one because I would like to see Cleveland go.
That's all good. I'm a better, so sorry, Reid. I'm going KC, buddy.
Yep.
That's a smart move with your money.
So our other AFC game, the other Saturday game, is Bills Ravens, and obviously they are coming off their wins last week. Bills are only 2.5-point favorites in that one.
Oh man, I'm gonna speak first on that. I'm taking Ravens.
Ooh, you're
I'm taking
Bill?
I'm taking Ravens because I think Lamar Jackson found his niche. He went away from what he really knows. He went away from they said Lamar Jackson, you can throw the ball. No, sir. Keep running the ball.
Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like so much of the time he tries to throw the ball more just to like prove the doubters wrong and everything like that. Right. Yo, run the ball. And I mean, defenses can't stop it. You have to basically you're playing for another running back when he's back there. So I mean, it just opens up the game a lot more if he actually is mobile, like he obviously can be. So, but I'm not.
I'm going to trust.
I'm going with Buffalo.
Oh man, you going Buffalo? Oh
yeah. Josh Allen, man, he's on fire But like you said, Lamar might be finding his groove, so I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, we need to get y'all COVID tests. All right, what else games we got, DJ Dex?
Tampa Bay in New Orleans, going back after their couple matchups this year. So Saints are a 3.5-point favorite, and then like we were talking about before, they got the old History Channel game with Brady and Drew Brees. They had the memes circulating around where they edited them to make them both look like grandpa.
I saw that today. That is pretty hilarious.
I think Brady tweeted that.
Yeah. You gotta love that Brady tweeted it himself and can make the jokes about himself. Love it.
Who are you taking that game?
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
Yeah, smart. I'm taking old Brady, old faithful too. I'm taking old faithful Brady. That's a fact.
Should be 3 for 3 then for Tampa Bay. So,
yep.
All right. Okay, then we get it rolling.
So my thing is the Buccaneers lost to them twice during the season. They lost both times, and the last game they got blown out. I think it was like 38-6 or 3 or something like that. They looked very, very bad, and it's tough to beat a team 3 times. And Brady's not going to come out and play like that again. So I think that they will get it figured out and hopefully send the Saints home. And obviously for the Packers game, you know who we're picking. I don't know who Reid's picking. Who do you got?
Yeah, who you got? Who you got, Reid?
Yeah, you don't got to pick the Packers just because you're on this show.
Even if I was going to pick the Rams, I don't know if I could on this show right now.
No, you can.
But, hey, go free, baby.
We're here for the controversy.
I think Green Bay's offense is too tough to stop. Sorry, my dog is barking right now. But I think Green Bay's offense.
He barking them dogs off you. Who you got again?
I don't know if you can stop Green Bay's offense, and even with their issues, if you want to call them even issues on the offensive line, I think they find a way to crack that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Dex, like you said earlier, I don't know if the Rams offense can score at will like Green Bay can. And if it comes down to that, Green Bay's going to win a shootout.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know the deal with Goff right now, even if obviously he played last week, but you could tell he was still hurting a little bit last week, his hand. And then obviously John Wolford got hurt and went to the hospital. So I don't know their quarterbacks.
Yeah, let's go back to Goff, man. At the end of the day, it's win and go home. And the finger situation he got going on, that's a situation that can wait till off season. Let's get through it. Once again, let's go back to normal paying scale. If someone was going back to work with a knee injury, you're getting paid $100 million. It's going to thread that thing real fast. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where he's going to have to gut it up and go out and play. That's a huge game for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And
huge game.
Hasn't been playing the best, so he's really got to come to play now. So we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't, and Packers can march into the NFC Championship, but we'll see. We got to talk about one thing because I think that you'll find it hilarious, Jermichael. So Fragel is a brand new fantasy football champion.
Oh, here we go.
Won
his league this year.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Josh told me to tell you that you cheated. But so my buddy – This might be the best fantasy football league ever, Jermichael. So every year, the loser of this league either has to get a tattoo or they make them do some crazy weird thing. So like this year, the loser was supposed to get lip fillers.
Oh my God. No, sir.
My buddy Josh.
Hold on. Like the lip fillers the girls get?
Yes, like lip injections.
That was up on the table, yeah.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah, so now it's off the table.
Josh he was fearful for a bit there.
Yeah, so Josh was like last place the whole year, like the entire year. And every Sunday he'd be watching the games just like freaking out. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to get lip fillers.
That's a good one.
They've had some good ones in their league. So
yeah, usually ends up being a tattoo on your butt or a trip across the country on a Greyhound. So it's one or the other.
They sent him to like a crazy place. Like it was like Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, some no-name town. You got to take the Greyhound all the way across by yourself. So it's like a 30-hour bus ride by yourself, stay in a 1-star motel, and then come back.
It's cutthroat, man. But
next year, Reid, mark me down. I like stuff like that. That's good bets.
Oh yeah,
you better not lose.
Make you think about it.
Makes you not want to lose. That's for sure.
Yeah. So
yes, sir.
Brought it home this year, and yeah. I mean, you got anything else that you want to touch on before we let you go? No. Actually, I wanted to touch on a little bit of next year with Ohio State. Like we were talking about earlier, just being able to return after a season like this. Obviously, Alabama is going to be right back. Right. I would imagine Devontae Smith is going to the NFL. But then for Ohio State, you're losing a lot of your key players.
Right.
You can only think that Fields is going to go to the NFL and not stay another year, especially after injury.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Sermon, senior, he's going to be gone. You're losing both of your tight ends with Farrell and Ruckert, who are both very, very good tight ends.
Yeah. That's been a while.
Olave is a junior. I would think that he's going to go too, but
Olave is probably gone as well. But yeah. I think you said earlier the recruiting classes from I think Bama at 1, Ohio State 2.
Yep, and it's a very close 1 and 2 from what I've looked at.
CJ Stroud, I think, will be the name that you're going to hear at quarterback for Ohio State to replace Justin Fields, because that's going to be the big question. Every year that we have a quarterback leave, JT Barrett, Braxton, who's next? I think CJ Stroud is going to be the guy. That's
what I always think is so crazy is that every year they just have somebody else.
Right.
Like just somebody else just takes over and you're just like, okay, like you guys just had this guy sitting there. Like, I mean, next year for Clemson, it's going to be Uiagalelei, who fortunately for them, people have heard of because of Lawrence missing the game. But it's like next year for Ohio State, I'm sure so many people don't know who CJ Stroud is.
Right.
He's a number 2 pro-style quarterback recruit. He's a freshman this year. So he'll be a sophomore next year and probably just take over right where Josh Fields left off from, hopefully. So,
but they go to tell you what type of programs these programs. They got guys on the shelf, and man, that's what we praying here as guys that's just sitting around waiting for the University of Texas program to jump off. We waiting for the 05 class to come back through. Well, we just had guys on the shelf, and it's pretty sweet to see Ohio State and Bama and even Clemson, even though they lost to Ohio State, to see that they got quarterbacks and running backs and receivers that's coming behind these guys is going to the NFL.
Yeah,
and that's top tier recruiting, especially high school athletes. It's pretty sweet to see.
Yeah, I mean, they got All-American after All-American. You guys had 6 this year, with Wyatt Davis being a unanimous following Chase Young and Jeff Okuda last year. So, I mean, they just keep producing talent. And Jermichael, even for Texas, they just signed a top, I think he was like the 4th ranked receiver today. So it's Steve Sarkisian's first signing as like the actual official Texas coach. So.
Yeah, that's the name. The names. Hey, you got to bring a big name in or a name in that's got the winning caliber type of name and to get these kids now.
Yeah, I mean, recruiting wise, how did it work for both of you guys? Like, Jermichael, where were you all looking at going? Obviously, you're from Texas. I'm sure that's just where you had your heart set on from growing up, or what?
I did. Man, I had them all around. But I narrowed it down just to get my mental aspect right. Mm-hmm. I narrowed it down to Arizona and Texas because I was going to go to Arizona for basketball and football.
Okay.
And that's when we had Lute Olson at the University of Arizona.
Yep.
And we had Mike Stoops, one of the Stoops brothers was at Arizona also. And so I was like, man, that's a hell of a duo right there playing basketball, football with these 2 coaches. And then Mac Brown come in with this talk. He's like, here at Texas, we play 1 of the 2. We don't play basketball. We play football here. So it's like, so what you're telling me is I can't play basketball here. He was like, here we play 1 of the 2. So I was like, shit, I guess I play football. So my grandmother, she was like, you're going to the University of Texas because it's close to home.
There you go.
It's plain and simple.
Nice. How'd yours work out?
Mine was a little bit different, I guess, just because obviously I ended up out of my home state, but it got down to Michigan State and Ohio State. And that was when Coach D'Antonio was still there. You got to remember, though, I grew up kind of rooting for Michigan. I wasn't really tied to them too much, though. But that was when Lloyd Carr was there. And the moment he left and his staff left, it was kind of a different program, and everybody recognized that. And I think that's what kind of started Michigan's downfall. To be honest, a lot of guys saw that. You know, they tried to bring in Rich Rodriguez, if you remember him.
Yep.
And he was the recruiter at the time, the head coach. So I kind of was turned away from Michigan, and with that, I went to Michigan State and looked at their program. Thought they were a pretty strong program, but once I went down to Ohio State, man, it was kind of like the first time, you know, being able to see something you weren't supposed to see forever. Right. Everybody shuns Ohio State, but meeting Coach Tress, he was just like Lloyd Carr and his staff. And obviously the excellence behind him it was hard to say no to them. And their best thing that they did, I think, with recruiting was they never sold themselves to the kids in a sense that, like, you know, you're going to use car salesman, like really pushy, I guess, in a sense. It was always like, here's what we have. You know, this is what we've done with guys similar to you. And this is, if you stay the course for 4 years, you know, there's a good chance that you'll pan out to play in the NFL. So it's kind of a take it or leave it type mentality, which I really liked, versus the pushiness that other programs kind of had. So, being down there for a game, it blew me away, and everything else on top, that was just a cherry on top. So,
yeah. And then, like I said before, I mean, obviously you guys had 2 completely different paths, where you started at Ohio State playing tight end, like you, Jermichael, and then later made the switch to O-line after they switched offenses.
Yeah. When Urban came in, we went from kind of the old school traditional offense at Ohio State to the Urban Meyer offense, and me not being a fast tight end, more of a run blocking tight end. I was like, well, shoot, we just lost both our tackles. We're about to have Urban Meyer in here. I'm a junior going to my senior year. I might as well bulk up and try to play tackle. So
and
30 pounds and
make that happen.
Numbers.
Yep, they make that happen overnight too.
How that works, that you can just put on the weight and in one off season go from tight end to lineman.
So I redshirted at Texas when they won the national championship the 2005 year. Coach said move from receiver to tight end. I was like, heck no. It was like, we're gonna put 30 on you in this off season. When I say I went back, I was 210, I was lightweight, went back off season 245, bro. I was like, come on now. And he said, that's where you're going to make your money at is tight end. So I was like, let's go.
Yep.
And so that's what in college, that's where you're young, the metabolism going, and you can do them things. You can fluctuate like that. But man, it was really sweet to see.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think that you can transition like that. Obviously, especially from you who are getting playing time at tight end, and then just making the switch and then still being able to play in the NFL at a brand new position. So it's pretty cool. And then obviously once you guys went to the NFL, you guys ended up having same agent.
Yep.
You guys both had Blake. Yeah.
Blake Barrett.
Oh man. Oh Blake. He was a good one, man. The guy still's going. If he's the guy to help me with the insurance policy, man. So I give him all the kudos, but like I said, so many agents coming in the game now. Different guys, different strategies to the game. So hey, it's just sweet to sit back and see it. No stress on me now. I'm living a dream.
Yeah. Reid, you're doing your own thing too. Now you got what? You got your own businesses that you're dipping your hands into?
Yeah, I've been working with employee benefits for some unions down here in Ohio. So police and fire unions in particular, we're kind of doing their health insurance and setting them up with stuff like that. So it's not football, but I enjoy, talking to the guys, especially firefighters are kind of similar to a locker room style. So
yes,
it's pretty cool and finding connections and ways to continue after football. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, that's awesome, man. If it's anything I can do to help, or me and DJ Dex or anybody that's in our group that can help, man, holler at us. We got you back.
Appreciate that.
Man. Is it anything else you guys got to say? DJ Dex, you got something? Go Pack, go.
Yeah, we got to focus on Saturday, 3:35 Packer game, and then we'll watch your Buccaneers on Sunday, Reid, and hope they can pull it off.
Hopefully, man.
Hey, Reid, I will. Hey, I'm gonna get your number from DJ Dex. I'm gonna be on your head about we're gonna make some bets coming up.
Right,
I'm gonna have you traveling through the desert highways on a Greyhound.
We can go hit up the shoe and go to a Ohio State game.
Man, whatever you guys want next season. Hopefully it's open.
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Hey, once again, Reid, man, appreciate you joining the spin with me and DJ Dex. Anytime you want to join us, man, we're here. Once again, appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Reid.
Absolutely.
You come up to Milwaukee next.
Absolutely.
All right. See you guys later.
See you guys.
See you.